Hello and welcome back to the channel. In this video I want to show you how to easily process your one-shot color camera data in PixInsight as a beginner. Without further ado, let's dive in. Enjoy! Over several nights I imaged the elephant's trunk nebula and I collected light frames, flat frames, dark frames and bias frames. In total 88 light frames with 600 seconds exposure time per sub or per single image. For capturing I use Nina, and this is what I saw in Nina. This is a raw image during image acquisition, and I used my 90mm Apo with a reducer with 432mm focal length. I also used my TWO ASI 2600 MC Pro color camera, also called one-shot color camera or OSC. I imaged just a section of this object, which you can see here. I want to show you the image processing in PixInsight. I already opened the process icons, as you can see here on the right side, and those are actually the main processing steps. Before we do the actual processing, we have to stack all the single frames and just go to script, batch processing, weighted batch processing. Will take just a second. Then press lights, and here lights, and just select your light frames. Then you go to flats, here the same, and open your flat frames. And you do the same with dark frames and bias frames. Usually I'm working with the default settings here. Just select output directory here. Just select this one and press run. Here you get some additional information about file size and so on, and just press continue. And this will usually take some time, so I will just fast forward this. Now it finished after about 1 hour, so just press done. Done. This you can close now, and let's see what we have. Now you have several new folders here. And the most important content is here in the master directory, and you can sort by the latest one. We have an auto-cropped version and a non-cropped version. And just open this one. You will get several images. Just open process, all processes, and go to screen transfer function, this one. I just open here STF, uncheck this one here and press the nuke button. This is auto stretch. Actually it's just a preview of a stretched version of this image, so this we don't need. Then do this again with the same with the next image. You can close this, and then we have this one. Do the same. And this is the image we will work with. Just save it in the new directory. I call it stacked and use this file format. Yep. Save it. Now that we saved our main image to process, I would highly recommend to delete all the data here, because it's really a large amount of data, several gigabytes. So I would just delete it. Yes. And we have our stacked version here. So let's process. Okay, just close this one and let's just make it a little bigger, zoom to fit. Okay, let's see what we have here. Since we have a high total integration time of more than 14 hours. It looks quite nice, quite low noise. What you can see here is a halo around the star, and the bigger one here as well. This is due to the L-Extreme filter I used. This is not really nice, and this is really one big downside of this filter. We will try to remove the star halo later. What you also can see some kind of stacking artifacts. So you can see a higher noise here on the left side compared to the right side. That's why the first thing we will do is a crop. In PixInsight it's called dynamic crop. So go to process, all processes, and press dynamic crop. I already have all the process icons here, so you can create this list by just pressing this triangle here and just drag and drop it here. You can close this and just rename it, for example, dynamic crop, and that's it. And then you will have an icon like this one. You can also delete icons like this, and if you have several of those icons, you also can mark them and save them here. Let's do a dynamic crop. Zoom out and just make this a little smaller. Let's do like this and press execute button here. Yes. Close and zoom to fit. And that's it. Now we will do something which is called dynamic background extraction, or DBE. Just open this window and then you will generate some kind of samples. Just set a number of samples. Usually I do 8 and 10 per row and press generate. And you can also do them a little bigger just to make it visible. Now you have several squares here, and you also can see not the whole image is covered. You can compensate this by increasing the tolerance. Usually I do 2 and press again generate. And now you can see the whole image is covered with those squares. The squares are actually too big, so I do 8 again, generate. And now they are much smaller. As the name suggests, we want to extract the background, and you have 2 recommendations for this step. The squares should not cover any stars, and the squares should also not cover any nebulosity. Now we have to check each and every single sample here. Just go here and start with number 1 of 76 in this case and press the blue arrow, and you will be directed to the corresponding sample. I don't want to have it here, so just shift it somewhere where you don't have any kind of nebulosity and no stars inside the sample square. This you have to do for each and every sample here. This is most probably the least fun part here and will take some time, so I will fast forward this. I think that's more or less okay. Now press here and do subtraction. Press OK. This is the background, and this is what we got now. If you want to save this process, just drag and drop the triangle here and just close it, press yes. That's the before. And that's the after. More contrast and better colors. Let's close this. Now let's do some color work and do the spectrophotometric color calibration. And if you now just apply it as it is, you will most probably get a error message. And just drag and drop here. And yeah, that's the error message. And just close it, because what we need now is to plate solve this image. Just go to Script, Image Analysis, and press Image Solver. Now you have to enter some values for the pixel size of your camera and the focal length. You also have to enter a date of imaging and also search for the object. I see elephant's trunk nebula, and here it is. Sometimes you have to research the catalog number, because elephant's trunk nebula, for example, it will not find. Just press OK and press OK again, and now it will try to solve the image. Plate solving means the algorithm will recognize star patterns and brightness, and will then have an information about where you are in the night sky. And it finished. It worked. So you can close this. And now again, let's repeat the spectrophotometric color calibration. As I already said, I used the L Extreme filter, so you just select your filter, L Enhance, L Extreme, L Ultimate, for example, or other. Here I will select the L Extreme for red, green and blue. And that's it actually. What you will also need is a catalog, a star catalog, and just press here, process, and then star catalogs, and you will need this pass. Just press here, and then you just select a folder where you have this star catalog. And the same is true for the Gaia star catalog. You just press here and select, for example, I used this star catalog here, and the star catalogs you will get from the PixInsight download page. You have different packages. The minimal requirement is this 01. And as you can see, I have 13 different packages. This is actually increasing magnitudes. So the higher the magnitude, the dimmer the star. And here in this first package you have stars of this catalog which are quite bright. And in this package, for example, you have dimmer stars as well. Okay, just select this, close, and just apply this here to the image by drag and drop. Here you will also get a funny graph. Just close it, and this as well, and just redo the screen transfer function. And now you have adjusted colors. Okay, just close this. And now I would recommend to use the SCNR function. You will also find it in Process, All Processes, and SCNR here. And this is to reduce red, green or blue color cast. Usually you will have problems with green, as you can see here. So this is to remove the green. I would always reduce the amount. Usually I use 0.6 and just drag and drop. And as you can see, now you have a reduced green color cast. It's still visible and we can repeat this later. So this is before, this is after, before, after. Now I take advantage of a additional plugin which is called BlurXTerminator, and I will show you what it will do. Just do a preview, click here, because it will take too long. Just to show you the effect here, just select the region here and you have a preview, and you can now, for testing, you can just apply different changes here in this preview. This will be much faster. Just drag and drop. I will zoom in and now you can see what it's doing. This is before, after, before, after. And this will really make your stars much smaller and more appealing. This looks very nice, so let's apply this to the whole image. Drag and drop. Okay, done. You can see stars are much smaller. Before, after, before, after. That's really a difference. Just close BlurXTerminator, and at this time point I usually do something which I call pre-stretch. So previously we used the screen transfer function and press the nuke button to get an auto stretch view, and this is important. It's actually just auto stretch view or preview. The image itself has not been stretched yet, and this is what we will do now. Let's deactivate the auto stretch. Just press here, this symbol, reset screen transfer function. Now it's black again. You only get some kind of idea about the stars. And for stretching, just go to histogram transformation and press here. That you can see a signal here. This is your signal peak. This is always very nice to see, as I will show you later, not to clip any data. Also press here to get a real-time preview. This is always very helpful, and only use the middle slider here first to the left, and what you will see is the image is getting brighter. To apply this, you can either drag and drop this triangle here or just press apply. And this is actually the preview for the second stretch. Just press here to reset and do the same again. And you see the image is getting brighter. Just apply again and reset again, and now you can see the signal. And you don't want to clip anything here. So just make it a little brighter and reduce or make it darker here. Apply again and reset again. At this time I call it pre-stretch. I only take a look at the stars. The aim is not to have it too bright. So that's okay so far. Just close it. And yeah, you can see a nice signal already. You have contrast, and the most important thing, the stars are not too bright now. For further processing, we will now divide the image into two. One image only with the stars and one image only with the deep sky object. There are several possibilities to separate your stars from your deep sky object. There's, for example, not just BlurXTerminator and NoiseXTerminator, but also StarXTerminator, but you have to pay for this plugin. Since I don't have StarXTerminator, and since I'm very happy with StarNet version 2, I use this one. In the past I already did 2 videos about how to install StarNet 2 in PixInsight. Here are actually 2 important things. First, we want to create a star mask. Otherwise, StarNet will only create an image with the deep sky object without stars. So we want to have a separate image of the deep sky object without stars and an image only with the stars. So check here. And you also have to check if you have a already stretched image or if it's a non-stretched image, as you can see here. Since we have it stretched already, we will uncheck this and just drag and drop. And this will take some time. And it's done. So now we have a stars only image and we have a starless image. This worked very well. You can see we have some kind of halo here, but we will reduce this afterwards. So we can close StarNet. Let's rename this image. Just right click here, go to identifier and name it stars. And the same here, identifier starless. Okay, now we can independently process those images. I would suggest to start with the deep sky object. The first thing I do now is to further stretch it. Just press again, reset, go to real-time preview and stretch it even more to get all the nebulosity here. Apply it, reset, and let's do some more stretching. And you do this several times as you like it. And here we really have to check that we are not clipping it or not clipping too much. I think that's okay so far. Close it, close it. And now you have a nice contrast here. Since this is a section of the Elephant Trunk Nebula, it's okay that it's reddish and not black, because that's all nebulosity here. First I would now reduce the noise a little bit, so I installed NoiseXTerminator, and I would always decrease this, maybe 0.65, drag and drop. And that really reduced the noise here. Before, after, before, after. It's amazing what NoiseXTerminator can do. And it still keeps the structures here. So it's not washing out all the details, I would say. Now I will try to increase the saturation here of this nice nebulosity, and usually I'm using this light extraction here, and you can also increase this mask here. Just go to the real-time preview and press like this maybe. So that's okay when we clip it here, because it's only a mask. So just apply it to the mask to create a mask. Okay, close the real-time preview and apply this here. Just drag and drop it here, and now we are using this as a mask. So just invert, and now the red is protected and the black one is affected. But we want to deal with the nebulosity and not with the black one, so just invert the mask and don't show it. Now let's go to color saturation and go to real-time preview and just use this slider here to increase the colors And now you can see it's getting more intense. Just apply it and reset. And you can do this with different colors here. You can decrease and increase the saturation, overall saturation, or different colors here. Apply again. Close this, real-time preview. Okay, so this is before, and this is 2 times increased saturation. This is before, this is after. You also can now remove the mask and increase the saturation using curves transformation here. We also can increase the stretching a little bit more. Just go to real-time preview and elevate this and reduce on this side a little bit and apply it. Yeah, and you can do it as much as you wish. So, personal taste. I will not go so far. And you also can increase saturation here. If you click here, you also can see where you are along this line. For example, if you elevate this part, the red will be dramatically increased. You can see now. You can also decrease, increase several other parts as much as you like. And apply it. Reset again. And you also can increase blue, for example, blue levels or green levels as much as you like. Or red. Actually, I like this. Let's see, green. I don't like the green. Yeah, I like it that way. Very dramatic looking. Okay, very nice. Now let's deal with this unpleasant star halo here. Just go to Process, All Process, and use Clone Stamp here. And now just take a sample by pressing CTRL and increase the radius maybe. I go with 30. You also can increase or decrease the softness and opacity. And yeah, that's not working. I think that's okay. And important is to press this execute button here and close, zoom to fit. And now we at least strongly reduced this unpleasant star halo here. Let's try to increase the sharpness a little bit in this region and here as well. Go to Unsharpen Mask. You will also find it in Process, All Processes. You also have a preview here. Sometimes I get the question where you can zoom in here and just press here. Select a region of interest and that's it. Now you have a zoomed in version. Preview. And you can decrease and increase the amount and you can see it's getting sharper here. That's okay. I think just close the preview and apply it. Now it's really much sharper here. Before, after, before, after. Same is true for this region here. But what you also can see is, that's why you have to be careful with this Unsharp mask, you also introduce noise. So now again we have to reduce the noise by using NoiseXTerminator. There's also another possibility to reduce noise. There are several ones in PixInsight. For example, using a TGV denoise. But since I have this NoiseXTerminator and it's working very well, I use this. Just reduce again by maybe 0.5 and apply. Okay, I think this is already looking very nice. Let's keep it that way. Just close this mask. That's the Starless version. And now let's work on the stars. Since I want to push the object itself, the deep sky object, it's always nice to have the stars not too prominent here. And yeah, with this histogram transformation and the stretching, you can really increase or decrease the appearance of your star patterns, and just adjust it to your liking. Maybe I will just increase this a little bit more because I want to have some stars in my final image. It's actually looking very nice. Close this, and I also want to increase the saturation a little bit here. Just go to color saturation, go to real-time preview, and usually I increase the overall color saturation here by elevating this bar. Apply this, close, reset and close, and this is before and this is after. It's just a minor difference, but you will see this in the end. And since we don't have really some noise here, it's actually not necessary to apply any noise reduction and so on. I wouldn't do much more here. Now just let's recombine this Starless version and the stars. To do this, you have to go to Process, All Process, go to Pixel Math, which you find here. I already have an icon here. Just double press and use this formula here. Combine Starless, stars, and this is just the operation mode. It's a screen operation mode. So the appearance of your stars in your object. And that's why it's really important to rename those images in Starless and stars, because you will need this for recombining the stars and the Starless image. And just execute it and close. And now you have a nice looking image of the section of the Elephant Trunk Nebula with stars. Just close this one. And that's it for my beginner basic PixInsight tutorial. Of course, you can do many more things in PixInsight, but I think for a beginner it's really enough, and as you can see, you will get a really nice looking final image. Let's compare. This is what we had right after stacking, and this is what we have now after processing. I think it's really cool. You really pushed those structures here. You have a much higher contrast here of this dark nebulosity, and overall the colors are looking really nice. And now you only have to save it in File, Save As, and Elephant's Trunk Nebula processed. Usually I save it as this file format. Just press OK, and I save it as a TIFF as well. Here. If you do further processing, sometimes it's necessary to reduce the bit to 16-bit file format, but usually I just save it as a 32-bit version. That's it. I hope this beginner tutorial in PixInsight was useful for you. If so, please subscribe to my channel or like the video. Thank you for watching and see you next time. Clear skies.